we gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many words ending in OPE as they could. Richard?
Yeah, we're looking for any word that occurs in the Oxford English Dictionary online edition that ends with the letters OPE. As always, no hyphenated words will be allowed, no proper nouns, people's names, names of places. But there are over 350 words ending OPE in the English language. See if you can get all of those at home.
Good luck with that. Thanks very much, Richard. Now then, Fred and Mark, you all drew lots before the show, and this afternoon you get to go first. So then, Fred.
There are several that are quite obvious, but I'm going to take a chance on kaleidoscope.
Kaleidoscope. Very good. Tactic being go for a very long word and hope people didn't think about that. Very good. Kaleidoscope. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said kaleidoscope. It's right. Very, very well done, Fred. That's a spectacular answer, Fred. Lovely low score as well. Richard?
Yeah, well played, Fred. Good start to the show. An instrument with reflecting panels that creates symmetrical patterns and what have you.
So then, Danny. Danny, you haven't had terribly long to think about this,
Not
but
really.
be glad that people haven't been nicking all your ideas.
Yeah. I haven't had much time, so I can only think of one or two. I'm going to say isotope.
Isotope.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a feeling this might be a low-scoring round. Isotope, you're hoping to score as few points as possible. Let's see how many of our 100 people said isotope. It's correct. Very, very well done, Danny. 6 for isotope. Richard?
Yeah, very well played, Danny. Isotopes, they're variations of chemical elements, isotopes.
OK, so Patrick and John, words ending in OPE. Patrick?
The only one I can think of, really, well, there is a few, but I think I'm going to go for stethoscope.
Stethoscope. Very good. You're hoping to score as few points as possible. We've had 2, we've had 6. No one in double figures yet. Let's see how many doctors there were in our 100 people. Stethoscope, you're saying. Let's see if it's right. How many people said it? Oh, very, very well done, Patrick. Only the best scores so far. Stethoscope scores you 1, Richard.
Yeah, good answer, Patrick. Very low score, isn't it? Obviously used to listen to internal sounds by doctors. And vets.
And vets, yeah. And safecrackers.
Yeah, safecrackers as well.
Julie, what is the most obscure word ending in OPE you can think of?
Well, 2 of them have already gone, so I'm racking my brains. I'm going to go with horoscope.
Horoscope. Well, let's see. Horoscope. As I say, they're all single figures. Let's see if we can keep it that way. Let's see if that's right. If it is, let's see how many people said horoscope. Very well done, Judy. That's a great answer. Brilliant score as well. 2 for horoscope.
Yeah, a plan of the zodiac or an interpretation of it. Very good answers from everybody.
Very well done. Well, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at those scores. Patrick and John, brilliant answer there with stethoscope, 1 point. Then up to 2 for horoscope. 2, Fred and Mark with kaleidoscope. And then Danny and Catherine. I mean, who would have thought 6 would have you way out in front? But you are way out in front. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we are looking for words ending with the letters OPE. Simon.
OK, I've got a couple in mind. One's a little bit dangerous, and I think I'll just hold that back. So I'm going to stick with periscope.
OK. At the end of the round, I am longing to know what your dangerous word
I'll tell you if it doesn't come
was. OK. There's your red line, Simon, right down at the bottom. Below that red line, you are definitely through to the next round. That's correct. Periscope scores 1. Takes your total up to 3. Very well done. You are through to the next round.
Yeah,
Richard.
well played, Simon. The low scores keep coming. Periscope, most commonly used on a submarine, of course. And just to let you know, Julie and Simon, that Periscope would have scored 15 in Scrabble, but Horoscope would have scored 16. So a victory for Julie.
Thanks very much, Richard. So, John, we are looking for words that end in OPE. The high scorers are still Catherine and Danny on 6. You're on 1, which means if you can score 4 or less, you are definitely through to the next round.
Well, words is definitely not strong for me. I could play it safe, but I don't think that's going to get me very far. So I'm going to take a punt. I'm going to go with the word what I think exists, because I have heard it, so it must do. Elope.
Elope. OK, elope. You have a red line. There it is, right down at the bottom. Let's see if elope can get you below that red line. Good luck. $35. It's right, but it's a big score there, John. That takes your total up to 36. Richard?
Yeah, that's a proper traditional pointless score, isn't it? 35.
Yeah.
To elope, to run off, often to get married in secret.
So then, Catherine, remember we are looking for words ending in OPE. You've been thrown a lifeline there. The high scorers on 36 are now John and Patrick. You are on 6, which means if you can score 29 or less, you are through to the next round. What are you thinking?
Well, I've got a couple of words in my head, but I think one's going to be too much high scoring. The other word I'm a bit unsure of, but I might as well gamble. So I'm going to say interlope.
Interlope. Danny thinks that's a good answer. There is your red line. Below that red line, you're through to the next round. You've done it. You're through. Very well done indeed. Interlope. 2 points. Richard?
Yeah, very well played, Catherine. To intrude upon improperly. Interlope.
So then, Mark and Fred. Mark, you are on 2. The high scorers are John and Patrick on 36. If you can score 33 or less, you are through to the next round. Have you had lots of answers that other people have said?
Yeah, I was hoping to elope, to be honest.
Right.
Microscope.
OK, so microscope, you are saying there is your red line, Mark. Below that red line, you are through to the next round. Microscope, is it right? How many people said it? You're through to the next round. Well done. 2, the microscope. Very well done. That takes your total up to 4. Microscope.
Yeah, we had a lot of scopes in that round. They all scored very lowly. We had kaleidoscope, microscope, periscope, horoscope, all very low scorers. There's only elope that went up into double figures there. There are huge amounts of pointless answers here. Lots of scopes, in fact. There's coniscope, colonoscope, pedoscope, rhinoscope, seismoscope, scintilloscope, all sorts of scopes. We'll take a look at some of the other answers, though. Allotrope, diamonds and coal are both allotropes of carbon. Dispope, meaning to get rid of a pope. There's mishope, which is despair. Bridelope, which is the oldest version of the word wedding they can find in the OED, the oldest thing that refers to a wedding. Cardioscope, oscilloscope, obviously both medical instruments. Chemiprosope, which is a type of skull. A coniscope and a philanthrope.
What was your dangerous one, Simon?
It wasn't there, it was endoscope.
Can be pretty dangerous in the wrong hands, certainly.
Yeah, endoscope would have scored 2. Would have gone with all those other scopes. Let's take a look at the biggest answers. These are the ones that most of our 100 said. It wasn't all 1s and 2s. Cope 67, dope 68, and top of them all, hope on 87.
Thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of round 1, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid, is Patrick and John. Well, you did phenomenally well. It's just everyone else did much, much better. I don't know, it seems very harsh to be sending you home on just 36, but there we are, that's what we have to do. You are the high scorers. But thanks very much for playing. Great contestants, we'll see you again next time. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many words ending in ULT as they could.
Yeah, we're looking for any word in the Oxford English Dictionary that ends ULT. No hyphenated words are allowed, no proper nouns are allowed. So names of people or places, we won't accept those. Very best of luck at home as well on this one.
OK, thanks very much. Right, Scott and Marcus, you all drew lots before the show, and this afternoon you get to go first. So we are looking for words ending in ULT. Scott.
There's so many. The first one that came into my head I'm going to go with, insult.
Insult. You're hoping to score as few points as possible with insult. Let's see if it's right. I think it is. Let's see how many people said insult. It's right. (22). Not a bad score, Scott, to get the ball rolling. 22 for insult, Richard.
Yeah, a fairly safe start, Scott. Insult. Always hard to define words, though. I'm not sure I can bring myself to. You know what insult means, don't you?
I take it as one that you even have to ask. Thanks very much, Richard. So then, Mary, we come to you. Words ending in ULT.
When you're standing here, they all vanish from your head instantly.
Oh, don't they just?
And now I've got one, but I can't decide if it's spelt right now. But I'm going to go for it. So I am going to say molt.
Molt.
As in a cat molting.
Very good. Like what you've done there. Molt. Very good. Let's see. How many people said molt? Down it goes. 13. Very well done, Mary.
Well played, Mary. The shedding of skin or feathers in an animal.
Jono. ULT. That's what the word has to end in.
Right, I think I've got an all right one here. And I can't be getting a wrong answer again. I want to see that go down, so... I'm going to go with fault, F-A-U-L-T. And I'm going to say that to Stu. If I get it wrong, I'll say it's not my fault.
Fault. Let's see. How many people said fault? 37. Well done, fault.
Yeah, pretty big score, but not the 100 that you're used to. So, well, it's not, is it? That's good, isn't it? Yeah. That's good. And if Stuart says it as well, that'd be a double fault. You know what? Why don't you come up here and do it yourself? See how easy it is.
And so, Hayley, we come to you.
Yep.
A word ending in ULT. You've had lots of time to think about one.
Mm-hmm. Well, I did have 3. One was insult, one was fault. So I'm left with my other one, I suppose, which is catapult.
Catapult. Darryl thinks that's hilarious. OK, you're hoping to score as few points as possible. Obviously, with catapult, let's see how many people said catapult. Very good, down it goes. Oh, very well done indeed. That's a great answer, Hayley. Catapult scores you 10.
Yeah, well played, Hayley. Best score of the round so far, catapult.
Yeah, very good. OK, well, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores. Hayley, brilliant answer there. Catapult, the lowest score at this stage. Then we go up to Mary and Dale on 13. Up then to Scott and Marcus on 22. Jono out ahead there on 37. Fault. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we are looking for words ending in alt. Now, Darryl, didn't Hayley do well?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. What's the reserve now?
No, I'm normally really rubbish with words, but I actually came up with a few. So I'm hoping
brilliant.
I'll do just as well as Hayley.
Oh, I hope so.
I'm hoping.
OK, come on then. What's it going to be?
A cult.
A cult?
Yes.
OK, a cult. You are on 10. You are the low scorers. The high scorers on 37 are Stuart and Jono. If you can score 26 or less with this answer, you are through to the next round. There is your red line.
Okay.
Below that red line, you are safe and home. Occult. Let's see how many people said occult. It's right. Very well done, Darryl. Look at that. 13 for occult. takes your score up to 23. You are through to the next round. Well done, Richard.
Yeah, well played, Darryl. Well played, both the twins there. You can settle back and enjoy the rest of the round safely through.
Splendid. Now then, Stuart, this is the moment. This is the moment in this round where you have to shine.
Yes.
You're the high scorers on 37.
Yeah. Cheers, Johnny. But I think all my words have actually been said, in fairness, but I thought of a last-minute one, which I think is pretty good. I think I'm going to say somersault.
What is that murmur? Susurration of approval from the gathered company. Somersault, how many people said it? It's right! Down it goes. Oh, brilliant, Stuart! That was just what you needed. That scores you 1, takes your total up to 38. Very, very well done indeed. Richard?
Yeah, very well played, Stuart. Very good answer. Only 1 point.
Only 1 point?
Yeah.
They must be head over heels with that.
You see?
I am here all week.
It is harder than it looks.
Yeah. Right now, Dale. The high scorers on 38 are Stuart and Jono. You are on 13. If you can score 24 or less with this answer, you are through to the next round.
Lult.
Lult. How do you spell that?
L-U-L-T.
Is it a word you've used ever?
No. But it sounds familiar.
Oh, I really hope it's a word, Dale. There's your red line. If you are below that red line, then Lult has won the day. Let's see if Lult is a word, and if it is, let's see how many people have ever heard of it. Oh, bad luck, Dale. I'm afraid that's a wrong answer, which means you score a maximum of 100 points. That takes your score up to 113. Lult, Richard.
Can you believe it? Can you believe it's not? I think Scott and Marcus have been lulled into a false sense of security by that as well.
Marcus, that was a lifeline. I think we all say thank you to Dale for that.
Thank you very much, Dale.
Yes, thank you. Words ending in ULT. You've had all this time to think of lots of answers that other people have said.
Watching the football scores come in and City beating United, I'm going to go for result.
There's your red line. And the high scorers on 113 are Dale and Mary. You want to be scoring 90 or less. That's what 90 or less looks like on our column. Result. How many people said it? Well done. You're through. 30, the result. That is a result. That's enough to see you through to the next round. Takes your total up to 52. Richard?
Yeah, well played, Marcus. Just had to keep it safe, and he did. It's actually the third highest scoring answer up there. In fact, fault was the second highest, and cult was the highest of all, just scored 60. But let's take a look at some of the pointless answers, because there's a whole bunch of them out there. I'm sure people at home will have got some of them. Let's take a look. Decult, which is to hide. Envault, which means to arch over. A hydropult is a garden water pump. Surely you know that. Jurisconsult, someone you consult on judicial matters. Kidult, which is quite a new word into the English language. It essentially means a sort of a teenager, another word for that. A great word, pre-ante-penult, which means the last but one. So W would be the pre-ante-penult of the alphabet.
Losing pair with the highest score, it's Dale and Mary. Lult. Never mind. Maybe it'll become a word in honour of today, Dale. Well, it's a great shame to be saying goodbye to you so soon. This is absurd. You've just joined us. But the good news is we'll see you again next time. But thanks very much for playing meanwhile. You've been lovely contestants. Brilliant. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many words ending in INCH as they could. INCH, Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any word in the Oxford English Dictionary online edition that ends INCH. As always, no hyphenated words or proper nouns, places or people's names. We won't accept the word inch itself, I'm afraid. And in case of doubt, occasionally we might ask you to spell the answer that you've given. Very, very best of luck.
OK, thank you very much indeed. Right, Kat and Gemma, you all drew lots before the show, and this afternoon you get to go first. Remember, we are looking for words ending in INCH.
I'm going to have to try and go with something that I know is safe and hope that Kat's got a bit of time to think about it and think of an absolute belter, basically. So I'm going to go with cinch.
That's so weird. It's exactly what I was thinking of. Cinch. Let's see, you're hoping to score as few points as possible. Let's see if cinch is a correct answer, and if it is, let's see how many people said cinch. It's right. 34. Not bad. 34 for cinch. Richard?
Yeah, well played, Gemma. Something's a cinch. Simple, easy. It's a cinch.
Very good. Tim?
I'll say bullfinch.
Like the way you're thinking there, Tim. Bullfinch. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said bullfinch. 4. Very well done, Tim. That's a great answer. 4 for bullfinch. Richard?
Yeah, terrific answer, Tim. Very well done. Great start. Bullfinch. It's a bullfinch. No one knows why they're called bullfinches. They've got quite a thick neck, but apart from that, nobody knows.
Martin?
I'm going to stay in a similar area and go with chaffinch.
I see quite a lot of birds coming up, Richard. Chaffinch, says Martin. Let's see if that's right. You hope to score as few points as possible. How many people said chaffinch? He's right. 20. 20 for chaffinch.
Yeah, pretty good answer. Martin, chaffinch, obviously another very popular British bird. That gets its name for eating chaff, because you often find them in barns, chaffinches.
Alison?
I think I'm going to stick with the bird theme, and I'll go with hawfinch.
Hawfinch?
Hawfinch.
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 Right, OK, well, let's see. You're hoping to score as few points as possible, Alison. This could be a spectacular answer. You're saying hawfinch. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said hawfinch. Very well done, it's right. And it's pointless. That's an excellent answer. Very well done, Alison. It adds £250 to today's jackpot, takes the total up to £10,500, and it scores you nothing. That's a great answer, Alison. Very well done. Richard?
Yeah, brilliant answer, Alison. Very well played. If you ask a Cockney what a hawfinch is, he'll say it's about that.
Now then, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores as they stand. Alison and Min, you are on nothing. Fantastic score. Tim, who introduced us to this bird line, well done, thank you. You scored 4 for that, a great score. Then we go up to 20, where we find Martin and Marco. Then up to 34, where we find Gemma and Kat. So, Kat, we need an absolutely genius answer from you on the next pass. We're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, so remember, we are looking for words ending in I-N-C-H. Min, the high scorers are Kat and Gemma on 34. If you can score 33 or less, you are through to the next round.
Well, given that Alison was so brilliant, I think I've got the leeway to play it quite safe. So I'm going to say winch.
There is a red line. Below that red line, through to the next round. Let's see if winch is right and how many people said it. It's right. 44. 44 for winch, Min. That takes your total up to 44.
Yeah, not a bad tactic, Min, but probably a few more points than you would have liked. Winch, any sort of pulley that hoists things up. A winch.
A winch. Marco, we come to you. The high scorers are now Min and Alison on 44. You're on 20. If you can score 23 or less, you are through to the next round.
I'm going to stay on the bird theme, and I'm going to go with goldfinch.
Goldfinch, says Marco. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said goldfinch. That's right. Very well done indeed. 3, that scores you. Very well said, Marco. Takes your total up to 23. You are through to the next round.
Yeah, well played, Marco. Absolutely, everyone's going for very similar answers, but they all seem to be working. It's a James Bond film where one of the villains looks after goldfinches. He's a goldfincher. It's not easy, you know this.
No, it's not, it's not. Now then, Anna, you're on 4. The high scorers are Min and Alison on 44. If you can score 39 or less, you are through to the next round.
Okay, pretty much all of the answers I've thought of have already come up. I don't know that many birds though, so how many people have said birds I've never even heard of is fantastic. Pretty much the only word I can think of now is clinch, as in clinching a deal.
There's your red line. Now then, Anna, if your clinch can get you below that red line, you are through to the next round. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said clinch. It's right. And you've done it. Very well done. 20 for clinch. 20 for clinch takes your total up to 24. You are through to the next round. Richard.
Yeah, very well played, Anna. Clinch. It's an English word that ends I-N-C-H.
Clinch. Cat. You're on 34. The high scorers on 44 are Min and Alison. Listen, if you can score 9 or less, you are through to the next round. 9 or less.
Well, my bird knowledge is pretty non-existent, so I'm going to have to just cut that option off. And clinch was one of my options. So the only other word that I can think of was actually a film, The Grinch, with Jim Carrey. So I'm assuming Grinch is a word. If it's not, then I can't think of anything else. So I'm just going to have to go with Grinch and hope that nobody else thought of it.
There's your red line. If you get below that red line with Grinch, you are through to the next round. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Grinch. Very best of luck. Oh, it's right. Go. 19. That was a great answer. Grinch scored you 19, takes your total up to 53, Richard.
Yeah, a valiant effort. It's a spoil sport or a killjoy, really, and famous in The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. It's a very good answer, but sadly not quite low enough. There are a few more birds out there. This finch itself, obviously, would have been a big scorer. Green finch, you could have said, that would have scored 3 points. There's another couple of finches on this pointless answers list as well. There's the hawfinch that we have from Alison, which is a brilliant answer. The piefinch, which is a sort of a regional word for chaffinch. Actually, that would have been pointless. The rosefinch, that was pointless. Scrinch, that's a pointless answer, means to sit closely or squeeze together. Skinch, to restrict the supply of something. Swinch, to toil or labour. To pinch, which literally means to pinch. It comes from Shakespeare's Merry Wives of Windsor. Unclinch, different way of saying unclench. And rinch, which also it's a variant spelling of rinse. Let's take a look at the ones that the most of our 100 people said. Winch, actually the third biggest of all, but saw you through to the next round, so good answer, 44. Finch itself would have scored you 64. And right at the top, pinch on 82.
Thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of round 1, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid it's Kat and Gemma. Oh, dear, at 53. Not a bad score at all, and yet here it is, the high score at the end of the round. And you were through to the head-to-head in the last show, and very nearly through to the final.
Yeah. You win some, you lose some, you know, but taking part, I suppose, is... Well, actually, no. We wanted to win.
No, it's bitterly disappointing, but disappointing for us. We have to say goodbye to you. Great shame. You've been fantastic contestants. Thank you so much. Words ending in RCE. As they could. Richard.
I just looked down at this while everyone was doing their introductions, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, that's quite difficult. We're looking for any word which has its own entry in the British and World English section of oxforddictionaries.com, please, that ends RCE. No proper nouns, no hyphenated words, please. So any word that ends RCE. I can't even work out what you might say.
That's
quite hard
to spell. Okay. Well, I've got one. It's not, nah. I'll keep thinking.
Yeah, keep thinking.
Polly, welcome. Lovely to have you with us, Polly. Tell us all about yourself.
Well, I do medicine at the University of Nottingham with Abby. I'm in 3rd year, so we're just finishing that off. And
How long's the course?
5 years, so just got 2 more.
Okay, in Nottingham. Nottingham's lovely.
Yeah, it's great. We love it.
Very good. And what sort of things do you get up to when you're not hard at work?
Well, we're at the hospital most of the time nowadays. But I like to go swimming. Like, I used to do that competitively, so I like to do that sometimes. I like to go out on walks, like to sort of read. You know, quite boring, really.
There we are. Nothing boring about any of those things. Polly, what are you going to go for? We're looking for words ending RCE.
I'm so bad at spelling, so I'm hoping I'm not making a complete idiot, but I'm going to go with coerce.
Oh, is that what you had for me?
Why, was that what you were going to have?
It's the sort of thing I might have had. It's the sort of thing I was hoping to land on sometime between now and the end of the round.
So it wasn't what you had?
No, it wasn't, but it looked like...
I knew it.
Yeah. Coerce, said Polly. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said coerce.
Oh.
Nothing wrong with your spelling, Polly. Down it goes, still going down. 16. Coerce.
Start. Yeah, it's when you curse a cow.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Anne, welcome to Pointless.
Hello.
Tell us all about yourself.
Well, I come from Worcester. I'm a stay-at-home mum. But trouble is, the kids have gone to uni now, so I'm a retired stay-at-home mum.
What are you gonna do with all that staying at home?
Well, I do like to bake.
Anne, what are you going to go for? Any word that ends with the letters R-C-E.
Right, I'm hoping this is right. Farce.
Farce, says Anne. Farce. Let's see how many of our 100 people said farce. Down to 64 for farce.
Yes, a comic, dramatic work.
Thank you very much indeed. Sue. Sue, welcome back. Remind us all about yourself, Sue.
I'm a retired school secretary, worked in an international school.
International school. We talked about this last time. Where was this international school?
It's in Surrey.
How many pupils were at the international school?
Over 600.
Goodness me.
And there are 4 other schools attached to that worldwide.
Right. What's the lingua franca of the international school?
English.
But presumably you must have heard, it must have been a babel of languages.
Yeah,
there. That's exciting.
Yeah, 73 different nationalities.
Goodness me.
If you have a Spanish class opposite where your office is, which I did, it improves your Spanish no end.
I was going to say, yes, you must, but by osmosis, you'd have picked up a good deal of Spanish. Sue, what are you going to go for? Words ending RCE.
I'm going to go for resource.
Resource, says Sue. Let's see how many of our 100 people said resource. For resource.
Yeah, stock or supply of money, material, staff, whatever, a resource.
Thank you. Gary, welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Now, Gary, head-to-head last time, by the way. Congratulations on that. Remind us all about yourself, Gary.
I sell medical equipment up and down the country, mainly to hospitals, the NHS.
Tell us something surprising about yourself, something...
I accidentally appeared in the movie 20 years ago.
This is what I was looking for. What movie did you appear in?
Kevin and Perry Go Large. Yeah.
And when you say accidentally, how did that happen?
Well, I was in Ibiza on holiday.
Yeah.
We went to a club over there where they were filming, but we didn't realise they were filming. And when we got back, we heard they were filming, so we went to see it. And halfway through the scene, my big ugly face appeared on the screen.
Were you grinning broadly?
No, I shouted out in the middle of the cinema, "That's me!"
Right. Did you have no recollection of it?
I didn't know they filmed a close-up of me. I remember seeing the cameras around the club, but I didn't have any idea what was going on until we got home.
Well, that's fantastic. You didn't have to sign a release form or anything.
No, I've never got any royalties for it either.
Till now? Well, we can follow this up, Gary. What are you going to go for? Words ending RCE.
I'm going to go for workforce.
You're going to go for workforce? Yes. Yes, I think it deserved that. It was a very, very silent hum from our audience, of appreciation, I like to think. Workforce. Let's see how many of our 100 people said workforce. It's right. Well, 64 is our high score, 16 is our low. You pass the high, you pass the low. There we go. That's more like it, Gary. Very well done indeed. 1 for workforce.
That's a terrific answer, Gary. Very well played. Yeah, a workforce, like a workforce.
I see. Got it. Thank you, Richard. We're halfway through the round. Let's have a look at those scores. 1, the best score of the pass. Very strong indeed on that far podium. Then we travel up to 16, where we find Sue and John, Polly and Abby. Then, whoa, it's up to 64, where we find Anne and George. George, we're going to need a low score from you, so good luck with that on the next pass. Let's come back down the line. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, Billy, remember we're looking for words ending RCE. Billy, remind us all about yourself.
So I'm a supported living manager on the Whittle. I'm also training to get my motorcycle licence at the moment.
How far through that are you?
I'm waiting for my test, but I've already bought a Harley Davidson, which
Putting the cart before the horse a bit there, Billy, aren't you?
Yeah, I got a good deal, so I thought, yeah, I've got to. But it's in the living room now, so...
Billy, what are you going to go for?
I'll go with commerce.
Commerce. Very good. Commerce. OK, here's your red line. If you can get below that red line with commerce, you are through to the next round. How many of our 100 people said commerce? Very well done. 11 for commerce. Takes your total up to 12.
Yeah, commerce, what you use sometimes instead of full stops.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. John, welcome back to Pointless. Lovely to have you with us again. Tell us about yourself again.
I'm a retired electronics engineer. Used to support for various companies and thoroughly enjoy my retirement.
That's very lovely. What's been the highlight so far of your retirement?
Being able to spend more time with my wife.
Ah, the ongoing highlight of that. That's very lovely. John, how are you feeling about these words ending RCE? Have you got a good one there?
A little bit dubious.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to go for reinforce.
Reinforce, says John. OK, reinforce. Here is your red line. Can you get below that with reinforce? Let's find out. Very well done. 4 for reinforce, taking your total up to 20.
Some good answers coming through now, aren't they? Yeah, reinforce.
I've upgraded my answer.
Oh, have you? Because I had quite a prosaic one for you, so I might have to write a different one. I'll guess what your original answer was.
OK, yes. Do that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's OK.
OK, now, how do you know the answer I've come up... What I think is the upgrade could still be quite prosaic.
Oh, yeah, it may well be, yeah.
Yeah, you know me. Right, George, welcome. Great to have you here. Tell us all about yourself, George.
So I'm a student doing economics at the University of Reading. In my spare time, I love watching the football. I'm a massive Aston Villa fan. Also, I've got very sort of into going to the gym, nutrition, sort of just generally being healthy and looking after myself, really.
Very good indeed. So what year are you in at Reading?
I'm in my second year.
Second
so I've only got one more year left.
Just one more. Are you going to miss Reading?
Yeah, I'll massively miss Reading, honestly, because I got in through clearing. So I didn't plan on going there, but honestly, changed my life. Great decision. I really enjoyed it.
OK, now, George, you're the high scorers. You're the high scorers on 64. We need a low score from you.
Well, I mean, I know that I could just say this, but I was really going to say reinforce, because honestly, I heard workforce and I thought, oh, I could jump on this. But I'm going to have to go with my backup, and it's a little bit safe. I'm going to have to go for scarce instead.
Scarce, says George. OK, no red line, you're the high scorers. Let's see how many of our 100 people said scarce. It's right. $22. Takes your total up to 86.
And scarce is what Cockneys call people from Liverpool.
Thank you very much, Richard. Abby, welcome to Pointless. Lovely to have you here. Tell us all about yourself, Abby.
So I'm quite similar to Polly. I'm also a medical student at the University of Nottingham, so my third year now.
What else do you get up to? What sort of things do you do to distract yourself when you leave the hospital?
I quite like doing sports. So at the moment, I'm training for a half Ironman.
So just remind us what an Ironman is. What's a
only
half
half.
Ironman? A half Ironman, still.
So it starts off with a 1.2-mile swim.
Right.
And then a 56-mile bike, and then a half marathon run at the end.
One after the other, with no pause?
No pause.
That's just the half Ironman.
Yeah, I know.
Let's have your word, Abby. Words ending RCE.
So, I've got a few safe ones. I'm not sure...
Just remember, there's nothing safe about a safe answer. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm going to go for fierce, and I know it's quite safe, but I was thinking re-pierce, but I don't know if that's actually a word, so I'm just going to go for fierce.
So a piercing that's grown over
There's
and you have it re-pierced.
But I think that's not worth the
I
risk.
can picture it.
'Cause
Anyway,
I think it might have a hyphen.
you're going to go there
So I'm going to go for fierce.
Fierce. Here is your red line. Can you get below that with fierce? Let's find out. How many of our 100 people said it? It's right. You've done it. Oh, look, with room to spare. It's fine. Fierce, 17. Takes your total up to 33.
Well played. If you had said re-pierce, though, you just got 100 points. So you were very smart to go with the one you went with. Xander, what are you saying?
Perforce.
Oh, I didn't. But what was your original one?
Oh, outsource. Oh.
There you go. So I got your original
There
one.
you are. You got the original.
Perforce, thank you. Perforce scores 3 points. Good answer. Outsource scores 2 points.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you are. I should have
So
stuck with my
you traded
first
down,
thing.
unfortunately. Let's take a look at the pointless answers now. Aforce, crowdsource is a
that's
pointless
good.
answer. That's come into the language more recently. Deforce, which is the police. Divorcee, which is different to divorce. Divorce itself would have scored 12 points. Divorcee. Downforce. Anyone who likes F1 or anything like that will know downforce. M-Pierce. M-Pierce, which is a guy called Michael Pierce. That's what he calls himself. Insource. Cestus, which is a Roman coin. And Superforce.
Nice. We're secretly in that, aren't we?
The Superforce?
Yes. Oh.
No.
Nice.
Shall we take a look at the top three?
Yes.
I have bad news for Anne in this top three. Third is Source on 31. Force has 56. And I can't believe that's bigger than Force. You wouldn't have thought so, would you? Farce would have scored you 64. I would have thought Force would score more than Farce.
Surely.
What do I know?
There we go. Well, thank you very much indeed. We're at the end of our first round, which means we have to say goodbye to one of our pairs, and our high-scoring pair is George and Anne. I'm so sorry.